This is in no way my attempt to justify my comic book obsession. And this story, I really, really like. Artwork, the storytelling. Hello and welcome to another episode of Pull List. My name is Travis. Let's talk about comic books today. Really, we're going to talk about comic books on a series dedicated to comic book themed videos. It might sound strange to some people, but I feel like this channel has sort of been lacking in the comic booky area. We've been talking about entertainment news and movie news and things like that, but we need to get back to our roots, back to the Pull List roots of talking about comic books. I'm in sort of a strange position right now where I'm currently packing up my possessions, getting ready to move to a new apartment since the lease is up on this apartment. Say bye to the TARDIS wall. It's really sad that it's gonna go. And in rifling through all of my belongings, I've been going through the comic books that I own, figuring out which ones I want to definitely keep, which ones I probably want to sell, and boxing up the trades on my bookshelf. And that's what this video is about. This video is about picking 3 of the books on my shelf and talking about them with you guys and why I like them so much. First up, and probably the most popular of today's 3, The Superior Spider-Man. In this story, Dr. Octopus switches minds with Peter Parker and allows Peter Parker to die in his old body. It chronicles a slightly reformed Dr. Octopus as Spider-Man, thinking that he could do better than Peter Parker ever could in the spider suit. I say slightly reformed because he did switch bodies with Peter Parker and allow Peter to die in his old body, so it's not like he's a good guy, but he does play the part. He plays the part of Spider-Man the best he knows how to, or could ever hope to play the hero role. Next up, we have Afterlife with Archie. It's Archie, but with zombies. It's really fun. Through a series of magical and demonic events, a zombified Jughead is let loose in Riverdale, and it starts the zombie apocalypse. This is one of the best horror comics that I have ever read, and I read a lot of horror comics. The third book that I'm going to talk about today is the oldest of the 3, published in 1994, and should be required reading for every comic book or superhero lover, Marvels. This is the 10th anniversary special edition, so it's a little bit thicker than the original 4 issues it was published in. Alex Ross's painting style alone should be enough to sell you on this book. Look at how beautiful that is. There's some Captain America, there's Angel, Iron Man and Giant Man, Galactus, and my boy Spider-Man. The stories take place from 1939 to 1974, and it's from the perspective of Phil Sheldon, a newspaper photographer, as superheroes start randomly springing up and fighting their supervillains with civilians around. It's from his perspective, so it's a really interesting take on origin stories. Most origin stories happen behind closed doors or a lab experiment, and we learn about these people before they actually become these Marvels. But Phil is witnessing the big battles happening from the streets, looking up, seeing all of these fights, just wondering what's going on. It's all very street level. It takes place on the ground, looking up as superhumans are mixed in with regular folk. And it retells some of Marvel's most fantastic stories from the ground, like Human Torch fighting Namor, or Green Goblin fighting Spider-Man with Gwen Stacy right there in the middle. We all know how that ends, but this is from a completely different side. It's so interesting. Can you tell that I am in love with this 4-issue miniseries? So yeah, I figured the Pull List should try to get back to its comic booky roots. So let me know in the comments down below if you have read any of these and what you think, or what you're currently reading. And also, somebody could be looking for a recommendation on what to read. So let me know in the comments down below what you're currently reading and why you love it or why you're not a fan of it. Give me your opinions. Let me know your thoughts. Let's have a conversation down below on what's going on in the actual comic book world. Also, if you'd maybe like to help me with making a new Pull List intro, send me an email. I'll leave my email down below. I kind of want it to have the same sort of feel as this intro, but I haven't been able to get a hold of the person who made this intro for me to do some tweaking, because there's a lot of footage in there that just looks kind of grainy and bland because I didn't have good filming equipment or know how to use color correction back then. That's it for this episode of the Pull List. My name is Travis. Thank you for fueling my comic book obsession, and you will see me tomorrow.